Alrighty guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about how to multiply polynomials, specifically talking about the distributive property. There is another method and I will make another video on that. But first off, we are going to talk about what the distributive property is. Hopefully you've already looked at my other videos talking about what a polynomial is, and if you haven't, I would recommend going back and watching those. But let's first talk about the distributive property, because you probably have seen this or heard of this before, but it isn't always easily remembered. So, the distributive property means if I am multiplying something into an expression, if I am multiplying something into this guy, then what I can do is I can multiply each individual part by that same multiplier. So it then simplifies to a times b plus a times c. So the distributive property, again, all it is saying is if I have some multiplier in the beginning, I can put that multiplier and multiply all the parts of the expression by it. Okay? The same thing happens. Say I have something more complicated, like this going on. What it is saying is I can take each part of the first equation and multiply it into the second equation, okay? So it looks something a little bit more like this. I take the first part, multiply it by both terms in the second part. Then I take the second part and multiply it again by both parts. Okay, so we are going to be doing something very, very similar to this, but with polynomials. So it might look a little tricky. It feels hard, but it really isn't. As long as you write things down and keep track of your multipliers, you should be just fine. So I'm going to scroll down to give us a little bit more room, and I'm going to write our practice problem or example problem here. We have two polynomials, x plus 2 times x squared plus 3x plus 1. Now, my recommendation to you is always take the smaller one to distribute, okay? So in this case, this one only has two terms, so we are going to distribute that one. So, meaning I distribute this x to the x squared, I distribute the x to the 3x, and I distribute the x to the 1. Okay, so I'm going to write this out off to the side. I do x times x squared plus x times 3x plus x times 1. Okay, that is my first part. Then I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to multiply each part by the 2. Just going to go through that. So then I have 2x squared, 2 times x squared, plus 2 times 3x, plus 2 times 1. All right, then I'm going to go through and then I'm going to do my math and simplify it. So x times x squared, that gives me x cubed. X times 3x gives me 3x squared. X times 1 is just x. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 3x is 6x. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Now I'm not quite done. Now that I've done all that multiplication, now I have to simplify it by adding all of the like terms. Okay, so I'm going to look at all the terms with the same variables and the same exponents, and I'm going to combine them. There is only one x cubed, so that is going to be all on its own. I have 2 different x squareds, so that is 3 plus 2 is 5. Then I have 2 x's, so 1, because there's an invisible 1 right here, plus 6x is 7x. And then, because there was only 2 plus 2. And there you have it. So the biggest key of multiplying a polynomial with the distributive property is making sure that you have distributed the parts to all of the other pieces of the next equation. Okay, so if it helps you to draw the arrows, I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing so. And I would recommend doing one part at a time. Then you just simplify, combine it all so that you have one of each type of term. Alrighty, thank you for watching.